Hello everybody, my name is Elliott and welcome back to Advective Weather. Today we're going to be taking a look at the severe threat that's going to be impacting parts of the plains and the eastern seaboard over the next 2 days. As you can see, there are two enhanced risk areas today. One is going to be centered over the Delmarva Peninsula extending into eastern Virginia, and the other is going to be over western South Dakota and northeastern Wyoming. The Day 2 enhanced risk is going to be over parts of southern Nebraska as well as northwestern Kansas. As you can see, we also have some slight risks that are going to be pretty expansive. Today's slight risks are going to extend from basically southern New York all the way through the northern part of South Carolina, as well as over much of South Dakota, as well as into Montana and northeastern Wyoming. Tomorrow's slight risk is going to be extending over much of the upper Midwest all the way through the east central Rockies. The enhanced risks today are primarily wind-driven, although a significant hail is a possibility in the plains for today's threat. Here's the national radar mosaic. As you can see, nothing too unexpected just yet for the summertime. We're seeing a lot of small convective cells, although in the summer months this is pretty common, so nothing to worry about just yet. However, that may change as we head into this evening. Today's event in the upper plains seems to be primarily a wind and hail threat. While there's plenty of CAPE for the environment to take advantage of, 0 to 3 kilometer helicity is pretty decent, although the 0 to 1 kilometer helicity is basically at 0, so tornadoes aren't really going to be a huge issue for this. And the sounding also favors very large hail. I was looking at some of the analogs for this, and significant hail is a possibility, so this area of South Dakota is going to be in a hatched significant hail risk, which means that there is a 10% chance of 2-inch or more hail within 25 miles of this area. Taking a look at the sounding for the East Coast, as you can see, there's still quite a bit of CAPE, although hail does not seem to be a huge issue, as the updrafts are going to be a bit weaker with this. Tornadoes are maybe a little bit likelier, however, they're not going to be a huge threat either, for the most part. And wind is probably going to be the primary threat with this system in the eastern seaboard, I'd say. And looking at tomorrow's threat for the middle plains, as you can see, significant wind threat as well. SPC has added a hatch risk for wind for this area tomorrow, meaning that there is a 10% chance of seeing 65 knot or greater wind gusts within a 25-mile radius of this point. Hail is once again possible. The sounding is favorable for some pretty decent updrafts, but we will have to watch for some of that significant wind tomorrow. Taking a look at the weather models, as you can see, the HRRR is rather unenthused about the high plains threat today, basically relegating a lot of the storms into the overnight hours with a bit of a weaker line passing through. It also isn't particularly bullish on the mid-Atlantic system either. It does, however, show an organized line of storms marching through the enhanced risk that's going to be over Nebraska and Kansas tomorrow, so we'll have to watch out for that. The NAM is overall a bit more bullish than the HRRR is on these systems. Basically, the NAM does show a few isolated cells of convection in the high plains today, although it's still not really particularly enthused about that enhanced risk. It does, however, show a bit more of an organized line of storms marching through the Delmarva Peninsula heading into the evening hours of today, so we'll have to definitely keep an eye out for that, as well as having several strong lines of storms moving through Nebraska and Kansas tomorrow evening, so that should be an interesting thing to watch for tomorrow. But what can you do to prepare? This is something you can do now. Always be sure to have a plan if you're in a severe thunderstorm warning. Preparation should ideally begin well before the storms strike your area. If in a warning, you should be finding an interior room on the lower floor of your house. Stay away from windows until the storm passes through. When thunder roars, always go indoors. Lightning is the #1 killer in thunderstorms and can strike even if it's not raining in your area. Thank you very much for watching. As always, feel free to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel a lot. And we also have a Discord server where you can chat with myself and the rest of our staff team. And it's a great time. We have events in there sometimes, so I do recommend you join. As always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next update.